Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the 2013 Transformers subscription service. So this was only if you're a member of the Collectors Club. This is their version of Breakdown. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes to help you decide how you want to display him. We'll have a look at the accessories and bio card that came with him to help you know if yours is complete. We will of course do some comparisons with figures that shared and in fact had use of the original mould, because you can probably tell that he's a redeco and reuse of the old Sideswipe and Sunstreaker mould. And of course, because he is Breakdown, we can do some comparisons with him, his original Generation 1 self, and some of the other versions of him that have been released in the Generations toy line. So as you can see, quite a bit to get through with this video today, and as I start to pop all these back, I'd like to remind anybody who's watching this who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. So quickly, just before we look at the I suppose articulation on him, just to explain for those who are unaware what the subscription service was. If you were a member of the fan club, you basically got to order, or pre-order shall we say. They were, I suppose, pretty much literally made to order particular figures. There was 4 then 5 figures available each year, and they were exactly this. So they were, you know, fan voted for lots of the time, figures that used existing molds that were already out, which of course is this, and of course the Sideswipe one, and then they just used them to make again figures that people wanted to see. So the Breakdown figure was voted, and that is why we have this particular one. The head sculpt is brilliant. It has got full articulation. It will go all the way around. Now unfortunately with this figure though, it doesn't hold well great over the last few years. This has become, you'll probably notice, super loose. You may see it fall down a couple of times as I try and do the review on it. Also, the accessories that come with him, they tend to fall out and not really stay in place. Unfortunately for this guy, he's not weathered or aged very well, shall we say. Ironically enough though, he does look like he's kept his colour and he hasn't actually yellowed. So articulation wise, you've got ball and socket in the shoulder, which will go all the way around. You've got, it looks like a double bend in the bicep. It is. You've got a double bend in the bicep, you've got a wrist swivel, we've got a waist swivel, we've got knee bend, we've got ankle tilt, rock, and everything in the feet, as I say, because this is a use of the which one is it? It's the Universe, isn't it? Yeah, Universe Sideswipe mold, and again it was used for Sunstreaker after. At the back there is, unfortunately, because it's an old figure, there is some big gaps there, but otherwise it's not too bad. And again, as I say, this is based on a mold that is well over 15 years now, well over 15 years old, and it looks good. And of course Breakdown's quite a topical figure at the moment, and this guy is another good example of him. So the accessories and weapons that came with him were pretty much, again, just redecos of the versions, or of the accessories, sorry, that came with either Sideswipe or Sunstreaker, or indeed anybody else who used this mold. So we've got this part here, which again folds out and it can be combined with the weapon, which we'll have a look in a second. And we've got the normal weapon as well, just with the 5mm port. Not much detail on this, unfortunately, just your standard blue colour. Now again, because this was a subscription service, it didn't have a proper box or a proper, when I mean proper, I mean something like packaged like this. It came in a cardboard box, a bit like the Generation Select figures, to be honest. And as you can see, the instructions as well, these aren't on the glossy paper, but they are on official and printed paper like this. So the instructions weren't in colour, but it did come with this lovely technical data or bio card that all subscription service BotCon figures and anything to do with the BotCon I suppose toy lines came with beautiful things like this. I'm just going to hold that there for a second and say, in fact, if I bring it closer for you and say pause, if you want to read that, you can read that now. And there of course is his tech spec. So what we're going to do now then, we're going to have a look at him in his alternate mode and see how we can use his accessories and how he compares with his G1 self. Okay, then we're back, and as you can see, he's in his alternate mode already. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. However, it will be uploaded separately if you want to watch it, and this will of course keep the length of this video down. And the alternate mode, to be honest, is great. I do really like it, and it does look like he's managed to keep his colour. There's a lovely little homage there to G1, of course, with the rub sign on the top. The wheels and of course everything go around as you'd expect. And I know that sounds silly, but some figures, sometimes the wheels do get stuck and trapped. We've got lovely lovely little details there for the trim. The headlights again are painted over, unfortunately. This does lift up and slip out quite easily, so be aware of that. You might not even notice that it's opened up. And at the moment, as you can see, there's no exhausts, but that's because we've got a really cool little gimmick here to do with the accessories, which I'm going to show you very, very shortly. This looks great as well. I mean, it's just a brilliant homage. And unfortunately, this has made me realise how bad my original Generation 1 figure's gone. I mean, that's yellowing awfully. And I had no idea it was like that. So, but that's by the by with this, but it is a good homage to it, and you can see it is much bigger. With regards, as I say, there's no point doing much with the Sunstreaker mould. This is, however, the side swipe mould. Again, apologies, it is in the box, but you can see there that it's much more like this with regards to the front of the bonnet compared to what Sunstreaker's wears. Right, so this is the accessories, so we can then attach this on the roof. We've got two little tabs. There's a couple of sets of tabs. Some fit on the back in robot mode and some fit on the roof in car mode. So what we're looking at doing is just popping these in there like so, and that is how it will fit and look for car mode. Now the exhausts are the gun, the weapon there, so you've got the twin exhaust there, we've got a square cutout and the 5mm dowel there, and if we pop this, there's the square peg, and the 5mm dowel are going to fit in this as well. So if we just slot this down, clip it into place, we've now got twin exhausts. But you can probably see already this is nearly coming off. This again is one of the flaws of this figure, to be fair. They've managed to massively improve this mold and again this character recently, but unfortunately for this it does come off. However, still looks really good. I think it looks a bit better in robot mode, so we're going to come back again with him in robot mode and do some final comparisons and see how he displays with his accessories combined as well. Okay then, back for the final time, as you can see, with him in his robot mode, and he's not fully transformed yet because although I am doing the transformation process in a separate video, I did just want to show you this. So this is what's known as the dramatic head reveal. What you'll do is you'll take the roof of the car, you'll lift it back ever so slightly, rotate it 180 degrees, and there you can see his head does appear. I wouldn't say it dramatically reveals it, but it does appear. There again is that problem I was on about with the fact that it just keeps sliding down. Right, with regard to the weapons, you can use these individually, so we can either put this gun in his hand like so, and then we've got, and again the main reason for this of course is because it was side swipe and it was like a rocket booster on the back for him to use there. You can still attach it and it doesn't look too bad, to be honest. It's hardly noticeable. But the other little gimmick that you can do, and sometimes again this can be quite awkward because it sometimes falls apart, so we can hold onto the gun, we can fold these two bits down, but what you need to do is fold them around over the top of the gun like so, and as you can see sometimes it'll hold, sometimes it doesn't, and you can then combine it and you've got a bigger, larger gun. And there, that's falling down. Again, it's completely falling down. Right, so compared to the original G1, obviously an improvement there. To be honest, and although I haven't got this one loose, I've got one loose and combined, I think it's better than this, to be honest. I think there's more articulation, and the transformation is that little bit more, I suppose, challenging. And of course, we are expecting the new version very, very soon. It's great to see these characters getting a lot of love. The biggest disappointment with this particular one, though, is he is a standalone mold. So what I mean by that is he doesn't have the rest of the combiners. And of course, this means that he cannot combine to form Menasor, which is, of course, a huge letdown when you're talking about, I suppose, Stunticons and indeed breakdown. All I'm going to do then is pop this on the back because this is how I choose to display him. I hope you enjoyed looking at him. I hope it was educational because some of you may or may not have seen this figure at all, and indeed I hope it gets you hyped for the new version so we can all complete our Legacy Menasor figures as well. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment. And don't forget to subscribe.